Hey everyone, it's Spawn, head coach of Team Liquid Academy here, and I'm joined by Captain Armao, the jungler of Team Liquid. Thank you very much for joining me, John. Do you want to just introduce yourself quickly for everyone? Give me the basic rundown, like name, age, position, a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jonathan. My last name is Armao, which is my IGN. I'm 22, and I play jungle for Team Liquid Academy.
What's your favorite champ?
I guess I'll say Olaf.
What's my favorite champ for you?
Olaf as well.
Hell yeah.
Olaf.
Look at that.
So good.
Complete alignment. You're a little bit different from other Academy players, right? You have a history in the LCS. So take me through that. Take me through, you're an up-and-coming 15-year-old out here, prodigy jungler. What happened? Take me through the early days.
Yeah, bad things happened. Echo Fox happened. I haven't played as much LCS as I feel like people say, but I did start playing LCS early, but not in normal circumstances. I would say I was just in high school, and I was 17, and my first experience was just subbing for Echo Fox when they had visa problems. So I wasn't scrimming. I just literally flew in a 1-hour flight and would just play the matches for a couple weeks. But people, we obviously got destroyed because we actually almost won one game, but we did okay, but overall we lost every game. So I think people immediately got a bad idea of me, and probably the other players too. It's there were other players who definitely get talked poorly a lot. I remember I played with Golden Glue and Solo while we were subbing. Those players are not fan favorites. So
were the teams
that was probably not the ideal start.
The favorites, who were you guys replacing at the time?
I mean, regardless of us, Echo Fox still did super poorly. So no, afterwards, the team was at that time was hard, KFO, Big, Keith, Froggen.
Okay.
And I don't think they did well, regardless of the summing situation. But I think regardless of the situation, obviously the situation isn't intended for us to win. I'm literally in high school, flying in, no scrims. We're just playing against teams who actually scrim.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even scrimming a team. You just literally just play the matches.
Yeah.
So it's already you're on a bad foot, I guess, with the community.
So then the Echo Fox things happens. What happens after Echo Fox?
I qualified for Challenger Series in the next year, and then I graduated high school early because I had enough credits to play. Yeah, I wanted to play Challenger Series.
Mm-hmm.
I played with DeMonte. I qualified with DeMonte and Alorum, or the two notable players, and then I played with Brandini, I think, at DeMonte and Big, and I got 5th place or something. That was in playoffs at the time, so that was the start of my superstar career, I guess.
And when did you get picked up by TSM? Because I think that's where a lot of people would know you from. Right?
So after the Echo, the Challenger Series split, I subbed for Echo Fox. Again, I didn't play very many games, but again, I don't think we won. It was a really weird situation. We only internally scrimmed, so we didn't look very good. None of the players and of the 10 players looked very good because it's really hard to scrim at that time and even now. And then after that, the next split, I joined TSM Academy in 2018. It was a Blazov and Brandini. And then that was my my big start competitive, because after that split, I ended up playing LCS kind of randomly because I wasn't super prepared. It was I ended up subbing in when Mike Young was on TSM, and then I played 2018 summer.
Cool. And then you go on, you win Academy one time with TSM, I believe, and then you come over to Team Liquid. You've been here for a year and a bit now, obviously replacing Schönfire out on the Team Liquid Academy team last year. And I guess for fans out there, I'll jump in here because I think when I first picked up Armao, a lot of people were kind of, questioning why that was the case. And I think for those that don't know, John and I didn't have a relationship before this year. I come in, I get announced as a head coach. We obviously have Armao, Bob Jenkins, and another guy called Rhino on the team. And I immediately start doing interviews. And at the time, Armao was actually in Korea, and he's grinding away at solo queue. And the initial impressions from me was this guy's incredibly hard worker. He's all about the grind. He really likes to play solo queue, plays a lot of games, in fact. I watched a couple of the scrims back from last year. The team did seem a little bit dysfunctional, and I don't know whether you'd want to speak to that a little bit, but you were definitely one of the positive voices on the team. And then obviously coming into this year, one of the primary shot callers on the team, or one of the more vocal players, along with Eyla. So I just saw like a lot of positive upside, and then obviously played a really mean Olaf in a lot of the in-houses over the summer as well with Core JJ. So I just think like I saw a ton of upside. And then like the thing is like everyone's like, wow, Armao's been around for ages, and I'm like, yeah, but he's 22. And like I always do basketball analogies, right? And you qualify like for the NBA draft after college, which is like 22 years old. And I'm like, how is someone retired in League of Legends but not starting a career in basketball? I'm like, 22 is so young to me. Maybe I'm just a boomer, and Jon would probably call me a boomer, but I was like, wow, he's so young. Like this is the start of his career. So I thought that could be a really great opportunity for you to join the team. I don't know if I've ever told you that story. Have I told you that story?
Sort of, I think.
Okay.
Not in those exact words. Those was a lot more. That was like a lot of praise. I feel there's too much praise there. Yeah. I mean, normally you praise me, but not that. On the main shot caller.
No, you are though. What about the big break? The 6 weeks of scrim. How was that? Because like all we did 6 days a week is scrim, right? Help the LCS team, scrim ourselves. Like it was a bit of a grind, right? Like I was exhausted from it. Were you exhausted by the end of the grind?
No, not really. No, I mean I didn't play. I should have dropped a little bit of the solo queue. It was just so weird because like I want to like just grind like when the tournament's actually happening, you know. So it's like it's just weird. The champions changed. The patch is just like it was weird for sure.
We missed like 3 patches. It sucked, honestly. Yeah. Like what I'm trying to say in a nice way is like the break just sucked. But before the break, we were good, right? So like how was the academy season? Yeah. Like how did you feel about like the 5 weeks of academy or whatever the week?
Yeah, I mean 5 weeks. I mean the academy went super well. I mean it was really fast because like me and Bob Jenkins we were doing the LCS scrims, so like we had like the 2 scrims and I was instantly playing the academy games. But yeah, I mean I think just having the matches it just helps as a player, both for motivation and I don't think honestly like our scrims during the break were not even bad. It's just like it's hard to tell until you actually play matches and like the slow games, like as we found out. But like I mean the academy season, super good. I mean the ending I guess wasn't great, but the overall I think it was a very good season. Second place regular, it's not bad.
I agree. Sucked losing 2 in a row at the end, but I feel like both really winnable games. And then like what was Northern Arena like for you? Like, you know, how did it start? How did it end? Kind of what were the big learnings?
I knew the team, like I knew every team would be better. Like it's just like some of the teams we played against were so bad at the start that like academy, like even while we're doing well and improving, like it's impossible for them not to improve like comparatively more, if that makes sense. Like unless they're just trolling, because like some of the teams we played, like it was just 20 minutes. Like their players aren't even bad. It's just like they have so many issues that can be fixed. So I knew it'd be like a generally like harder playing against those teams. And then obviously we play against EG and we instantly lose. So it was proven right there. And then, but like, I mean, basically, like I see it as like 2 weeks because there's like the first week we were obviously struggling super hard. We barely didn't lose in losers bracket. Like it was, we honestly lost if the throw in one of our series. But then like second week we were obviously online, like fixed a lot of the super obvious issues, and then like we got our confidence back once we started winning matches cleaner ways, and yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there was a game that was off stream, and thank goodness it was off stream. It was against Immortals, and we were legitimately losing until we won. And that's the only way I can put the game. They were like at our inhibitors, like knocking on the door. We got a couple of miracle flanks with like
it was lost.
A Scion or something, and it was lost. And we would have probably got 2-0'd by Immortals if we hadn't have pulled that first game out. But we did ended up pulling out. Lower bracket one run was really good. We went undefeated for the rest of the tournament, pretty much, which was really, really nice. So this segment, by the way, is called Roll as the Captain. So I just love the segment title, by the way. So what's the biggest difference between Academy this year and Academy last year?
Okay.
Here it comes. I'm going to go red. I'm going to go red.
Wait, that's the question. The biggest difference. Biggest difference. There's a lot of differences. I mean, 10th place, so there's many. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I joined late to last split, like starting off with that, like because like I mean because it was like an in-between split thing, which is kind of weird. So that's already like I guess like less practice and like less prep, because like this split, like I did in-houses with Core and like Jan played, like Bob Jenkins played, so like that was like way more prep even though it's not the full roster, obviously. Did Korea boot camp, so that's like just like all that stuff's already gonna help, and then obviously coaching and roster stuff. I think some good stuff. I think the roster, it's just improved. I don't want to talk about individual players. Yeah. I just think the roster, it did improve. But I will say the roster didn't just improve. The players, for me and Bob Jenkins, I think we both got a lot better. Bob Jenkins, was already good, but he just took so much from the China boot camp and the Korea trip that we did. And I don't think I don't think every player would go in and be able to improve that much. It's not you just go to China and Korea and you just get challenger, you get super healthy. It's you have to already be good.
What about the two Aussies, Haeri and Eyla? What was your initial thoughts, and have your initial thoughts changed at all?
I mean, I was really unsure of what to expect, because usually if it's an NA player, it's I've played with them in solo queue or something. I mean, it's kind of it's any type of Tama players from a different region. Obviously, you don't know what to expect. But once I actually played with them while still screaming with LCS, and once I played with them the first time, I was oh, these guys are actually, I don't want to say, I mean, honestly, they were better than expected. Yeah. Not to flame OC players. There's a select, there's definitely some good ones, but sometimes it's ooh, are they gonna be good? I'm not sure. But I was surprised that they understood macro pretty well, because it's just a hard thing to understand when you don't have super strong teams, obviously. And I mean, attitude wise, super good. They're Bill and Haeri are both very different. Bill is probably the most chill. Harry's also chill, but slightly less.
Slightly less chill. And then Jan, the rookie of our squad, because everyone else has played competitively for a while, right? And then Jan 100 next, the weak side god. Yeah. What did you think of Jan when we picked him up, and how has he changed?
Yeah, so I'd played with him in solo queue, so I was it's definitely not what I was expecting when I met him in person, because he's very outgoing type of personality, which it didn't seem like it would be.
Yeah.
He's my roommate too, so. But yeah, so I mean I was surprised, honestly, but not a bad way. His personality is very good. He's super focused on competitive, so. I mean, I knew he was gonna be good basically already, because I had played with him in solo queue. He even subbed for us on TLA actually. In the split, he randomly subbed a couple scrims, and he actually played pretty well. So I was oh, this guy's gonna play well.
Yeah, he's got he's probably the funniest person on the team, to be honest. He's probably the person that makes everyone laugh the most. What do you want to see improved in Academy?
More regular season games. I think that's I mean, everyone always says that. I think that's pretty obvious, but more regular season games, which will lead to not having the big break. So that already fixes that problem. More regular season games. I feel having an Academy playoffs into a proving grounds, they have time, would be kind of cool. But if it's not possible, that's fine. You could just have an Academy playoffs. It doesn't even take that long, 1 or 2 weeks. And then you have proving grounds as well, because it's fun. It's just more games to play. And then, I mean, if they can advertise Academy more, it would be good.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree on a couple of them. I would love to see us play on LCS days, to be honest, either before or after LCS.
Oh,
games.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. I picture in my head a world where there's a match of the week or 2 matches of the week, and they're just immediately before or immediately after LCS. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Just to advertise a little bit more. All right, what do you want to see improved in your play?
In my play?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big question. Kind of performing. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, right now in the meta, tank gameplay, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of looking good. I think I should put more time into the niche picks. If I said that right, but just so I can be more comfortable if the draft takes a turn. Sometimes it can. I guess when I say stuff in game, just being more clear, because sometimes when you're a pro player, you'll say can you come here or something, and the person just doesn't hear you or assumes you doesn't really matter, and they just don't do it. You die.
Yeah,
or something
that's
bad
the one
happens,
for me.
And you're damn, I told you to go.
You gotta be more demanding, man. You gotta be get it right now.
Because if you know it's good, you just make sure it happens, basically.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what about our team's play?
I mean, honestly, I think just working on fundamentals and making sure scrims are useful.
What about focus?
And everything?
We lost focus in one game in Northern Arena. That's what I would say. We had a 7,000 gold lead. then all of a sudden my Kaiser was ulting over walls into bases and stuff. Like I would like a little bit more focus in our play sometimes.
Is that the game where we lost against Fly?
Yeah, we unfortunately lost that one against FlyQuest.
That was a disaster. I was like, wow, we actually lost.
It was looking pretty unlosable for a second there, and then we defied the odds.
I mean, for me, I felt focused. I was like, okay, this should be pretty easy. We just do like standard macro and we just win.
Yeah.
But I think after that series, some people were feeling a little bad about the mistakes. So I should have given them more positive comments. Like, it's fine, we just win. Because like that's something that could be better by everyone.
Actually, that's true. We are pretty hard on each other. Like we can be a little bit more fun, myself included. I'm a bit of a wet blanket.
I mean, I was shocked that we lost that game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was truly shell shocked. I was like, what? Like, did what I just see just happen? Like, everything?
The way you're coached. What do you want to see improved on the way you're coached? Yeah, I got my notepad, by the way. We'll write some stuff down here.
I think the coach is doing perfectly.
Yes. Hell yeah.
There's absolutely no problems. Albert, on the other hand, our second. Oh my God, so many problems.
He really needs to step up the solo queue grind. The one thing I will say is, like, I'm getting much more used to, I think, American culture. Like, Australian culture is a little bit more like hard-nosed coaching, whereas American culture definitely is a little bit different. So, and I don't know whether that's just my team now versus like teams I've had in the past. So I've had to change my approach a little bit, but I think I'm getting better at it. And then the other thing that I think is, like, we're a lot more advanced where I thought I would be at. So, like, I came into the season and, like, Josh or chat was kind of making fun of me because I had, like, fundamental macro 101, like how you set up for, like, dragons and stuff like that. And Jat's like, I'm pretty sure that you know all this stuff, but, like, go for it. And all of a sudden, like, I've had to kind of, like, fast track in my mind, like, where we're at. So that's been the impressive thing for me, is, like, it's actually challenged me. I think, the prep is getting better.
Yeah, the coaching, the harshness, I feel like people will take that the wrong way and assume, like, we don't care. And like once I read the stuff where it's like, oh, these players, like, they just want to, like, be told how good they are and stuff. Yeah. Like, honestly, I feel like we're honestly pretty harsh. Like, when people, like, mess up mechanically, it's just like, especially when John does it, it's just like, but other players too, like, we're so, like, depressed about it. So, like, usually you don't have to, like, super go hard on your players, I think, but it depends, right, on the situation.
And I think, like, people would be surprised. That would be a really interesting, like content piece. Like, if, like, after the season or something, like, we actually released a scrim, because I think people would be actually surprised about, like, how incredibly try hard, like, the environment is.
Yeah,
like,
I think we're the most try hard academy team for sure. From scrimming, not like I mean, I guess people can't see it, so I guess I'm just saying it, but. If you see our scrims, like, some of the things we're experiencing versus, like, what we're doing, like, we definitely, like, our team in particular, definitely super seriously. So, like, we're not just, like, chilling, really, I guess.
For sure. And what do you want to see improved in the amateur scene and North American development?
I mean, I didn't get to play in any of the tournaments. What I saw online, I think people didn't like how many tournaments they had to play in a row. Like, they play, like, a ridiculous amount of best ofs. My amateur viewership has been pretty good. There's been, like, decent amount of hype around it, and the teams are pretty good. I mean, the orgs need to be. I mean, there's some issues with the orgs because like 2 of the orgs, there's no org, but they literally had an org at the beginning. They just lost the org because the org got banned. It was a new, and then Sola Fide wasn't paying their players. So, like, obviously that stuff should be just made sure, because, like, I mean, that's just terrible. Obviously for those people who were, like, told things and then they don't get them. So just format stuff, and then, like, org stuff, making sure there's not, like, basically fraud. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what happened with those orgs, but it's not great for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the perception's pretty bad, right? And you feel really terrible for the players, because it's like, as a coach, like, all you want your players to have to worry about is, like, showing up and playing and, like, having everything else taken care of. The other thing I would say is, like, and I've tried to do it myself in the past, is, like, in-houses / low ping environment stuff, like, it kind of feels a little bit bad that, like, and obviously, like, COVID has, like, stuffed everything, so no one's to actually fault for this, but, like, playing the most important tournament of the year on, like, 60 ping, like, in my opinion, is obviously far from ideal. Coming from, like, Oceania, where we play from, like, if you're in Sydney, 6 to, like, Melbourne, which is the only 2 cities that have teams 16, so, like, you're always playing on under 20 ping. To have solo queue and the amateur circuit on a high ping environment, I think is just, it kind of sucks, but, like, North America is a much bigger place than Australia, so it's also, one of those things that COVID has kind of said. However, That's all the questions we have. Well dealt with, Captain Armao. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans before we get out of here?
Thanks for the support. I think people are probably more happy with the Academy team now than last was. So.
Just to echo kind of what Armao was saying as well, like the rally behind like the Academy team has been really cool. Whenever we play, it's on the Team Liquid subreddit. We read all the comments, even though we probably shouldn't go to subreddit all that much. When we're on Twitter, like the comments have been pretty positive around the squad, and it's really great to see. The power rankings. Like we started the year, we started the year at 8th place in the power rankings. So the receptions around the boys has been really, really great. So I want to thank you guys for supporting us. However, that is all the time we have for. I got told I have a 20-minute interview, and I think a 10-minute interview, and I think I've gone for half an hour. So I'm going to get out of here. But this has been Spawn, head coach of the Team Liquid Academy squad, with Captain Armao, the jungler, and we'll catch you next time.